How's it going, everybody? David Braga back for another episode of the podcast. Today, we are recapping the Cy-Hawk game in what was a tremendous letdown from the offense and special teams. Defense played out of their minds again. But just, I don't know what's wrong with the offense. I really don't. Hopefully, we can get back on track against UNLV. I'm once again joined by TMB to discuss all things Brock Purdy and the Cy-Hawk game. TMB, how's it going today?
Would have been better with a different result Saturday. Still would have been celebrating, but
Obviously.
um, move up and on. So looking
For
to
sure.
UNLV.
So I want to start. I want to start right off the bat. We're going into the contested part of the show. Uh, Matt Campbell pulled Brock Purdy basically at the start of the fourth quarter. After he threw an interception at the end of the third quarter. I can't remember which Iowa player got a hand on it, but it was one of the defensive linemen got his hand up, and I think Purdy was looking for Hutchinson like on an out route,
Yep.
and it was
Um,
knocked down at the line, or I guess knocked up at the line of scrimmage,
yeah.
and it was intercepted. Um, but I basically just want to start with this because I feel like this is the one thing we're going to disagree on for the entire rest of the season. I felt like it was a quick trigger by Campbell. I thought, this game was still, granted, it was 17 points, so it's 3 possessions. Because I think Iowa kicked that was the 51-yard field goal, I believe.
Yep. I believe you're right.
So I mean, it was a 17-point game after that, and then Campbell pulled Purdy and put Deckers in, and I'll give it to Hunter and the offense. I thought the offense looked really good with him throwing the ball. He had a really nice touchdown to Tariq Milton.
Yep.
It just seemed like a good change of pace, which I am all for in a game that your offense is struggling. But it really felt like a quick trigger by Campbell. I mean, I know you disagree. You thought it was the right call. What you got?
So Campbell has been, and this is not a bad thing by any means, the most loyal supporter of Brock Purdy you are ever going to find. And that is his job. Whether it was Baylor first half last year, TCU, no matter what it was, no matter how bad he looked, he was determined that Brock Purdy was going to bounce back. And you could see Brock Purdy in those games being a leader. Um, he did not look like a leader after those turnovers in the Iowa game. Brees Hall did. Brees Hall fumbled the ball. They zoned to the sideline, and I mean, he was ready to get back out there. I don't believe he got the next drive. That's just something we do. If you turn the ball over, or if
Right.
you fumble, usually you're out the next drive.
Especially at your own
He was
5.
ready. Yeah. Um, and you saw Brees's head immediately drop. Um, I will never forget that.
So
Purdy looked like he didn't want to be out there anymore. And if Campbell has the balls to pull him because he's been the biggest supporter of him, I think there was a reason. If his reason was post game was horse shit. Brock Purdy is a 4-year starter, senior captain, and he has to pull him because he was in his own head. That just can't happen. Um, if
right.
if Purdy is really having those problems, I don't see them going away. Um, the last interception, yeah, you could say it's not his fault, but I also think he made the wrong read.
Oh,
He had
I
Charlie
do too.
Kohler.
He had
He had
Kohler on a corner route.
yeah, wide open. So yeah, technically it wasn't hit like where he was throwing it wasn't his fault, but I also don't think he made the right read. He looked lost all day. Uh, he didn't trust the offensive line. Um, was looking for only Kohler and Hutchinson. It seemed like maybe the other guys weren't getting separation, but it seemed like he only wanted to go to those two as safety blankets, and he just didn't look like Brock Purdy we've seen in the past.
So
Um,
I have a little bit of a theory as to why that is. And maybe you can correct me. I'm not super like into film, like I don't dive
yeah,
into everything. But has the play calling tried to keep him in the pocket more? Because I feel like
after
Brock Purdy is better when
when
he feels like an Aaron Rodgers when he goes
yeah,
off script, when he can escape, and when he can make something with his legs. It feels like he plays better like off tempo,
yep,
and I feel like that's partly coaching is to play to your quarterback's strengths.
yep,
So
sure,
like I said, like I don't I like I watch I rewatch the game, but I don't
yeah,
dive into like film super hard. but I feel like Brock plays better off script, and they're trying to keep him in the pocket on script. I don't know if that's to keep him healthy, because I mean we've seen Brock take shots when he tries running.
Yeah. So I think some of that is keeping him healthy. You have to have the wide receivers that have the ability to get open off routes. So do you trust Joe Skates to scramble and get open when Purdy's scrambling? Do you trust Hutchinson to run around and find an open spot in the zone when Purdy's scrambling? Do you trust your receivers? Because God, Landon Akers had his problems, but was he good at that?
Right.
Um, he was a perfect, like you want to say, Aaron Rodgers receiver. He could get open when the play broke down. So I think some of it is trying to keep him healthy because we saw him not healthy in that Notre Dame bowl game, and that was
Right.
just was not good. He just looked awful. So the whole team, not just him, looked awful. Um,
Right.
and do you have the personnel to not, I don't say run those plays because none of the plays are designed to break down like that, but you have the personnel to make those plays work where he feels like he is allowed to scramble. Um, so I think some of it is coaching. The play calling has been about as bad as you can get.
It's been so predictable.
It has
It
been.
it's it if Brees Hall's out of the game, we're throwing.
Yeah.
Jarrell
Yep.
Brock, I mean, he's had a couple carries, but I if Brees Hall's not in the game, it's not a run. If
Yes.
if we go, you know, motion, you know, like there's no like counter plays in
Yep. There's
when we're in
no.
gun. If Brees Hall's on the left, we'll run into the right. There's
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
you know, we motion two tight ends over to the left side on the same side as Brees. There's no counter plays. There's no, I mean, it's just inside zone to the right, inside zone to the left, whichever side is opposite Brees Hall. And
So I
then
don't.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, an occasional read option or an RPO, but other than that,
Yep.
it's just so basic and so predictable that it. And again, that might go into part of that, just trying to keep Brock healthy. But
Yep.
I mean, when you're when you're playing against an Iowa defense that we've seen is very opportunistic,
Yeah.
call it luck, call it, you know, opportunistic, whatever. I mean, it's they're gonna get turnovers and they're gonna
They
be in
are
the right spot at the right time. And I feel like going off script is the way to get to Iowa's defense.
100%. You.
So
I mean, you didn't
I don't
see
know.
one. Um. And people that aren't Packers fans won't recognize this like us. You see Matt LaFleur run the most crazy formations, pre-snap
Oh
movement, motion all the time, and it gets guys wide open, and they take advantage of defenses that are better than them.
yeah.
You didn't see that Saturday or Sunday against the Saints, and
God,
at all. That was the most
I'm
boring
already talking about
offense.
this game. I don't want to talk about that game too.
Um,
But I yeah.
and back to you can kind of Tom Manning as much as man my name, but I do not enjoy that guy calling plays for Iowa State right now. Um, has been good about so they mentioned about every game we have more pre-snap movement than about any other team in the country,
Yeah.
and that is so Brock Purdy can read the defense. I think he struggled with that, and they knew that his freshman year when he started playing, because you saw him install it more as he continued to play. He has trouble reading like when linebackers are blitzing, dropping, what corners are doing, safeties are coming down to run support. So motioning guys all the time, I think is supposed to help him with that, but it hasn't this year. It
No.
really hasn't. He looks lost. He's not going through reads. Deckers went through reads better than you could I've ever seen Purdy on
I
Saturday.
would
He
agree
had
with
more
that.
time.
Yeah.
Um, he read the field. He went through three, four, five guys on one play and found Tariq Milton open. He found the running backs in the flat, which was not his first read all the
Speaking of
time.
finding the running backs in the flat, Eli Sanders looked incredible.
He did. He did. He
Eli
looked
Sanders looked real.
fast.
It was so funny. I was at the game. I was like, what is Brees Hall doing still? Oh wait, that's not Brees.
Yeah.
Brees Hall's not the one catching those passes.
Yep. So
That's
Sanders,
Eli Sanders out there.
yeah. And I don't know. I was running some sort of prevent. Usually they will have a guy drop there, you know, get a little more pressure. But man, he was making those reads. He found Milton. Um, I will say they did not put very many backups in. They saw a lot of first string guys in there. Um, so I need, and he has a cannon for an arm, which Purdy
Yeah.
struggled with the arm strength.
Right.
Um, and look, I love everything Purdy's done for this program. I have seen nothing but regression each year he started. So, first freshman year, he looked like, I mean, you saw him in first round mock drafts for 2 years in the future. Um,
You're not seeing
Next year,
that at all.
no, not
Like,
anymore.
not
No,
even not
is
even close.
no, not even like draft, almost like, I mean, maybe sixth, seventh round, maybe. Um, he has just regressed so much, and some of that's film. Like, you can't expect the guy to be a world beater his whole career. Um, he wasn't a 5 star for a reason. Not saying stars mean everything, as we know here.
Right.
But I mean, he had weaknesses, and people are starting to exploit those. And like you said, I mean, his first game against Oklahoma State, he used the run amazingly
Oh,
well,
it
whether it
was
was on the touchdown run, whether it was on the rollout to Akeem Butler for a touchdown, and they took that away from him. So I can't put it all on him.
right.
Um, Another guy that has not been brought up, but I thought about how much of this is on the quarterback coach,
I
Joel Gordon, I believe. Can you put any of it? I just don't know how much of a role he plays
I
in Purdy's day-to-day practice.
so what I would put there is there somebody telling Brock to stay in the pocket? Is that part of play calling? Is that the quarterback coach? Is that something that Brock has just changed? Like,
Yeah,
is he trying to be
that's pocket
better in the
passer.
pocket for the NFL? Are they like trying to, like, there has to be some sort of decision that's been made there, whether
Yeah,
that's Campbell, whether that's Manning, whether that's quarterbacks coach, whether that's Purdy, because I like you said, he is so much fun to watch when
he
he's
is.
able to be Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
And I saw there was a bunch of Iowa fans like in my DMs that were like, "Oh, Brock Purdy was hurt." I don't think he was hurt at all.
no,
I
I
do
don't.
not think Brock Purdy was hurt at all this week, last week, ankle. Like, I don't think it was anything. I just think that
I
they're trying to get him to stay in the pocket for the NFL, and I don't think that's where he succeeds.
No, I completely agree with you. I did no validity to this at all. Excuse me. I heard there was a rumor he could have had a shoulder injury, but we were still rolling with him. I
Right.
did not see in his motion, which you usually see with a shoulder injury. I didn't see him try to protect it, so I don't believe that. I saw
No.
nothing that was motion wise that would have led to. The only thing you could say is he didn't scramble, but I don't think that's his call. Because you can see him kind of start to move around in the pocket and almost looks like he wants to leave, but he knows he can't.
Yeah.
Um, and with how this offensive line has been playing, I mean, it has not been amazing protection for how preached this offensive line was by Campbell
Right.
and staff in the offseason. So I think you gotta let him do his. I mean, pump fake Purdy, let him run
Oh,
his
for sure.
offense.
I
Um,
Again, I this could just be I want to use your boy Tom Manning as the scapegoat, as just blaming
it,
all of this on play calling. But I do genuinely think that somebody has gotten to Brock and said, stay in the pocket, it's better for the NFL. And you know what? It very well could be.
but you got to get to the
But you
NFL
but you
first.
got to get there, and you got
Yeah,
to look good in college to get there. We've
yeah.
seen that. So
So
also, like, this saying this kind of makes me feel like those players that like skip out on bowl games because they don't want to get hurt. If an injury is going to
yeah,
happen, it's going to happen.
yep,
You can't live your life trying to protect yourself from an injury. You just got to go play the fucking game. You got to go play
yep,
football. You know,
yep,
I
100%.
you can get away with that. You know, occasionally in basketball, there's a guy that's like so good that he just skips college and he just prepares for the NBA draft.
Which usually are bust, but not always.
Right. But I just don't think you could do that with football. I think
No.
for Brock Purdy to succeed, he has to be Brock Purdy, not somebody else. And I
Yep.
feel like
And if
somebody has gotten to him and said, if he's in his own head about this, I can't help him.
yeah,
Right? There's no one that can really. If he's in his own head about it, that's something that he's got to figure out. And
yep,
if that's the
for
case,
sure.
then yeah, I want Hunter Deckers to be in the game because I feel like Hunter Deckers isn't in his own head and he's gonna help us succeed.
Yep.
So I still don't agree with the call to pull him just because we were still kind of in that game.
Yeah. I don't.
But
I I see where you're coming from, and I agree with the fact that you saw it as us quitting.
yeah,
Um,
we've seen this team come back
yeah,
against
we have.
Oklahoma, against Kansas State. We've seen this team not give up. This team doesn't have quit in them. And to see
No, they
Brock
don't.
Purdy get pulled for something that nobody is saying is an injury. It was just him getting benched.
Yep.
I just saw that as Campbell waving the white flag with 15 minutes to go. And
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
I don't like the fact that he quit with putting Deckers in. I do like the fact Deckers came in, but I liked it for a change of pace.
Right.
If you were putting Deckers in to win the game, which you now see that we really weren't, the onside kick, maybe we would have had a
Oh
chance.
my
Cole,
God. Hands
man, that
team.
was,
You're out there for one thing.
yeah,
That was so, I don't know. I think it was Mevis who kicked it.
it
Oh,
was.
that was so good.
It was a
It was
beautiful
a
kick.
perfect onside kick. And
Yes.
the hands team, dude. Okay.
So some of this is on. I will say
Ah,
because I know
man.
you're at the game,
Yeah.
seeing it on TV, Rory Walling laid into whoever was. Might have been Charlie Jones catching for Iowa, and Kohler was going to kind of do the same thing, make a hit, force a fumble, whatever. And as Kohler was passing, as Rory was hitting him, Kohler was passing the route of the ball, and it just went right past them.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
if Kohler wasn't trying to tackle the guy, he would have had the ball.
So where I was I was like basically the back row. We had security yelling at us. They were like, "Go find a spot in the student section." It was hilarious. Like, yeah, please help us find a spot that's actually in the seating.
Yeah.
Be our guest. But I was basically I was so far under the second deck in the back row that I couldn't see the video boards. So I was trying to text all my friends. I'm like, was that a fumble? Like, was he out of bounds?
Yeah.
Was he there? And so I couldn't really see it. I was basically just watching the game in real time. But it was such a flawless kick. I couldn't tell who was like, because it was on the far side from where I was sitting. So I couldn't really see all of it. But I mean, it just looked like such a perfect onside kick. It stayed in bounds for a while. It got deflected, I think, even. I mean, it looked good, but man, onside kicks. I just I can't escape them.
Just add to our special teams nightmares, right?
Yeah, I know. And to add on to that, so I noticed something kind of during the game, but I really noticed it rewatching it. So we're still not bringing pressure on punts, which fine, whatever. If we're not
we did
comfortable
against
doing,
UNI
yeah,
in their end zone, and then, man, if you want to talk about a momentum play, fucking bring the house.
yeah. So I noticed it. Like I said, I noticed it a little bit during the game, but I really noticed it afterward. When we don't bring pressure, the Iowa punter, I think Tory Taylor, is that the Iowa punter? He was taking all day.
He was
to punt the football, which gave Milton
no
yards
time.
In punt. Milton had no time to catch the ball, no time to make a decision, which is why he was fair catching the ball at the 8.
Yeah.
But then when we're punting, Iowa either brings the house or sets up a return, and it forces Corey Dunn, God bless his soul, to either get off a quick punt because he's hurried, or he sets up a punt that's getting returned for 20 yards.
Yep.
Because Iowa knows what they're doing.
We had Charlie Jones dead to rights.
Oh my goodness.
3 or 4 times on punts, and he just ran. I mean, he broke tackles, ran right by us.
I don't know. Special teams. I mean, we've got kickers with legs. I know Mevis missed the 45-yarder, but it was plenty long.
It was.
That thing was almost halfway up the upright.
Yeah.
From 45. So we've got the distance. And I mean, he seems to be fairly accurate. I mean, I'm not going to expect him to make a 45-yarder every time.
Yeah.
But Iowa comes out and puts a 51-yarder dead center.
like it's nothing. And that's just Kirk Ferentz. And I've said this to everyone. Campbell tries to beat Ferentz at his own game, and he's just not good enough yet.
No.
We are a more talent. I'm going to get shit for this if this gets any viewership.
We're going to get shit for it anyway, so lay it on me.
We are a more talented roster than Iowa. I firmly do believe that. But do we get outcoached? 10,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so I was going to say this, talk about play calling. We flipped the field on Iowa. Finally. We get a holding or a false start or something, and then 3 sacks in a row.
Yeah.
On 3. Like, what the fuck are we running QB draws for on 3rd and 20? Like, what are you doing?
I was going to say, that was about the one time Purdy got the chance to run was a QB draw on 3rd and 20. and
what do you think
he got
Tim
tackled
McCree
for
had
a
that?
he got tackled for a 3-yard loss back at like our
Yeah,
own 5.
yeah,
Like,
and that just blew away every chance we had after that. It was just like gone.
well, and then to kind of stay on the special teams, I know Matt Campbell post game was talking about we need to make the play,
Yeah,
which I really thought the play at the end of the half was going to be the play,
I agree.
because I mean that was Brock's best throw of the day, bar none, not even close.
Yep,
Put it
and
put
it
it
was a great throw.
Oh, it was tremendous. He had I think it was Hutchinson or Skates
And
open
the
on an
flat.
out route. And
Yeah,
he said no to it and went over the middle, over a defender in front of the safety to
placed it
Wilson.
right, and yep,
Oh God. And we punched it in right before the half, and I was like, that's the play. That's the play that's gonna get us back in this game. That's the play that's gonna
yep,
do it. And then Tariq Milton let the punt go.
yep.
And that was some
I
20
don't
yards of
know.
field position.
Did you notice on the film we had 3 returners back there?
Yeah.
What?
At least once we
What?
did, yeah.
Yeah. What? And I was on the one that he let go, and lucky to God it didn't hit him.
No, I thought it did originally.
So did I.
I thought the way he reacted, I thought it went off his foot, and that's why it bounced
Yep.
so far.
I don't know if that dude needs contacts, if he just can't punt return, what his problem is, but we can't. I mean, we got to change something.
Something's got to happen
Yeah.
for. I don't know if it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just at a loss for words for our punt team. It just it's so bad every single week. I don't know.
For how much Campbell models his game after Ferentz, because whether people like it or not, he does.
Yeah, he does.
He wants to win with running the ball, dominate time possession. They won't run on us, and we'll dominate special teams. His inability or stubbornness to not hire a special teams coach or get someone in there that knows what the fuck they're doing, is killing this team and costing us wins. And
Yeah, I totally agree.
his overlying loyalty to his staff, right now it's really only Manning. Shieldhouse should be calling plays, Manning should be fired, and we need to hire a special teams coach.
Yeah, I don't think I
That's-
disagree with any of that. I mean,
I love Campbell, and I hope he's here forever. But man, he's got to make a change somewhere.
yeah. Tory Taylor had 8 punts for 409 yards.
Yeah.
And a long of 69, which I imagine was the one that Tariq let go.
Yeah. And Corey Dunn, that first punt almost got blocked. He booted that thing.
Yeah, Corey Dunn didn't even have a bad day.
No, not at all.
He had 6 punts for 256 and a long of 56.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not even playing poorly. He had the bomb that went for like 60 against UNI.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Kick coverage has been terrible. Punt returns have been terrible. It's the same story week after week.
Yep. And it's cost us Louisiana last year. It's now cost us Iowa this year without turnovers and special team. You could say turnover more so, but special teams mistakes. We win that game.
Yeah,
we do. Our defense did not let that offense score based off just them being their offense.
No.
That didn't happen.
And I mean, you look at it. The defense gave up 6 points in the second half because they had the fumble return.
Yep.
So the defense gave up 6 points, staying on par with their 16 points in the last 6 games.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure both of the Iowa field goals came off of picks.
Yes.
So defense was given a short field, and I think even one of the times they got a sack to force them out of field goal range.
I think we might have done that twice.
So I want to talk about the defense though, because I want to talk about something that was good.
Yep.
My God,
defense could not have looked much better.
No, I think they're better than advertised. Actually,
I think the only thing which Haycock's defense has never been this kind of way, but we got to find a way to force more turnovers in critical situations.
I just tweeted about it before we started recording. When I was watching the game back, the one thing that I noticed on defense is that I think we're better than advertised because we can get pressure against a really good Iowa offensive line with rushing 3.
Man, Will McDonald got held every play.
Oh man,
I'll stop there.
He's gonna force if refs call it, he's gonna force 58 holding calls this year.
Yeah.
But we get pressure with 3. We have a really quick secondary with guys like Ishim Young that can come up and close holes in the box.
Yep.
And Tyler Goodson had nowhere to go.
No.
Nowhere to go. The only thing that I would say is we need... I know we play a lot of zone, but if we could throw in any sort of man or any capability to get a ball up in the air, to get a deflection, to get a pass breakup, this defense would take that final step.
I agree.
That's the only thing that this defense could change that would somehow improve it.
Yeah,
because it is that elite. I really think it is.
It's better than... I think it's the best defense so far. It's been 2 games, but it's the best defense we've had ever.
We're giving up like 2.7 yards a carry or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get shit for this. Spencer Petras is the worst quarterback in the Power 5.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to force a way to get a turnover, literally one.
Yeah.
Petras went 11 for 21. Fun fact, Hunter Deckers had 11 completions in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and Tyler Goodson, like I said, had nowhere to go. He had a long of 13. He had 55 yards on 21 carries. So he basically had 20 carries for 38 yards.
Yeah.
You take away the 113-yard run. So, force a turnover. Literally one turnover.
Yep.
And
we have a completely different ballgame.
Yeah. Man, the defense looks so good.
It did.
I was so happy. Jake Hummel had another fantastic game. Dude still just flies under the radar.
Yep.
Peterson had a sack. Wazarike had a sack. McDonald had a sack. He might have had a sack and a half, actually. I'm looking. Yeah, sack and a half here. I mean, we had 9 tackles for loss against a really good Iowa offensive line.
Yeah.
And I mean, Petras had the 1 touchdown throw to Jones.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything else was a 5-yard gain, 8-yard gain, 6-yard gain.
Yeah, and the tight ends found the holes like they do. We got to find a way to get, and we weren't awful about it, but we got to get third down stops.
Yeah, for sure. There was one drive we had. I was thinking of the Packers game. I was thinking one of the first drives we had them 3rd and 11, but that was the Packers game. Oh God, talk about a disappointing weekend. But yeah, you still there? We still here?
Yep.
Okay,
here.
sorry.
Yep.
You went quiet on me for a sec. But yeah, I get a third down stop. Get a turnover. That's all I'm asking. Get one. It doesn't matter how you get it. Get one.
It's just, and that fumble was not even close. I knew immediately that he was down.
So I couldn't, like I said, I was super far back in the under the first deck, so I couldn't tell. So they got the call right because after going back and watching it, he was down. I'm still just sick of officials calling that play dead.
Yeah.
Because if he's not down and you call him down, you're forcing the opposing coach to throw a challenge.
Yeah.
On turnovers and on scoring plays, they're automatically reviewed, as we saw with the Breece Hall touchdown. Which I would have lost my shit had they overturned that. But anyway, all I want to see is let that play out. Because turnovers are automatically reviewed. You're going to get booed by the crowd, obviously. But you let that play go.
Yep.
100%. Turnovers and scoring plays automatically reviewed. You should always call it a turnover. You should always call it a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then go back and change it if it's wrong. Because those are automatically reviewed. That's the only thing really, other than the holding calls, which going back and watching it, that's the only real officiating gripe that I've had, and I've had that for 5 or 6, 7 years now, is always let those plays go. That's the only, I don't want to blame officiating, but that's the only gripe that I would have, is that you let that play go, and then you change it afterward.
Completely agree.
Rough weekend. Like I said, I tweeted it out. This is one you go back, you watch it once, you see what you did wrong, and then you just burn the tape. Move on. It's done. Can't do anything about it now. Move on to UNLV. and go score more than 17 points. Because that seems to be the threshold for this team right now. Yeah, speaking
UNLV,
of, sorry, did you have any last
nope,
comments on Iowa? So speaking of moving on to UNLV, that's what we're gonna do. Bunch of Iowa State fans headed to this one in Vegas. I will not be there.
I will not be either.
But I know a ton of people are going out there. This is going to be a lot of Iowa State fans in Vegas. This is the chance for the offense to do something. Like this is the game that I wanted to see Hunter Deckers in because I wanted us to be up by 40.
Yep. I would say Breece Hall needs to have a big game finally. Like he's been kind of quiet these past two, which hasn't been all his fault, but he needs we need to establish a run game to open up the pass game.
Yeah. I think UNLV's lost to, they played Arizona State and
State and Eastern Washington.
Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
So they lost to Eastern Washington, which
they were actually favored to lose that game.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Oh no, UNLV.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I just thought it was funny that they lost to Eastern Washington. I did not know that the boys from Eastern Washington were favored.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, offense, you have literally zero excuses then.
No, they don't at all. And UNLV's quarterback is hurt. He's day-to-day right now.
Okay, is that Broomfield or is that the other guy?
It is.
Okay.
Broomfield, yep.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know anything about UNLV. I know that they've given up 450 yards and 35 points each in both games. Yeah. So, I mean, God, it would be so Iowa State for us to go in and win this game like 20-13.
Yep. And I think I might have put something on Twitter about that, or I was going to. I'm like, this is going to be the most disappointing win of all time.
I think I tweeted out when I saw I think it was Chris Williams tweeted out the line was 30.5, and I said incoming 20-13 victory.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be good.
Oh man, yeah. The spread is now 31.5 here on ESPN.
0% chance we cover that.
And the over under is 52. So go ahead and bet your UNLV cover and under again.
Yep.
Unless the defense does in fact score 31 points, then
which would involve forcing turnovers. Who knows though?
True. No, we're just gonna get 60 safeties.
Yes.
Or I guess it'd be 15 safeties. I can't do math. Yeah, Will McDonald's gonna have a career day. He's gonna get 19 sacks and
15 safeties.
Yeah. Because that's how we cover 31.5 at this point. Yeah, yards allowed. They've allowed 468 yards a game.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if we are not running the ball up and down their throat, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they appear to be all right at running the ball, 143 yards a game. So that should be a good.
Best at stopping, but
yeah, it should be an interesting matchup for the front seven there, or I guess front like five.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, again, can I just say our defense running a 3-3-5 has been, I expect that to stop the pass. How are we giving up 56 rush yards a game?
It's incredible.
You
gotta have the right guys.
Yeah, Wazarique's been tremendous in the middle. Mike Rose.
Singleton.
Singleton's been great.
Yeah.
I think Orion Vance was hurt for Iowa, wasn't he? He didn't play.
He did not suit. Gary Vaughn still had a good game.
Yeah, I mean it's been tremendous. So
yeah,
I mean look for UNLV to slow it down a little bit on that 143 rush yards a game.
Yeah, I don't see them eclipsing. I mean, I will say unless it's a blowout, I don't see them getting over 70 or 80.
Yeah, they do have more points per game than us at the moment.
Well, yeah, does not surprise me.
Does not surprise me.
We have 27 points.
Yeah, we had 16 and 17, so 33.
I was thinking 10. I was thinking 10 in the. Okay.
Yeah. So they are allowing double the amount of points as us, though.
That's good.
They're allowing 36 a game, and we're allowing 18 and a half.
Yeah.
So,
which really should be, lowered because how many of points are off turnover? I guess I should say like pure defense. We are not allowing.
no, we're
We
allowing,
allowed 10
what,
and
15 then? Because it'd
yeah.
be, because Iowa had the fumble recovery for 7.
Yep.
So it'd be,
And
so it
then,
would have been 20 and then 10, so 30, so
yep.
15.
Yeah.
So they're allowing more than double.
Yeah.
So man, I really want to say that we're just gonna win this game by 45, but they haven't shown me anything that's gonna say that. So hopefully we do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we just make sure that we're solidly in front the entire game.
Yeah.
And Iowa State fans can go a week without having a heart attack.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
So I guess any closing thoughts here, TMB,
Not really.
about anything?
I expect our offense to roll. I expect the defense to roll. But it will probably be closer than it should. That's all I got.
Yeah, probably. I guess my final thought: force a turnover. just force one, please. I know we had 2 against UNI, but just force one.
Please, just force one. Yes.
Make me happy. Force a turnover. I don't care who it is.
Please.
Just one. Just
even
one.
if it's a freaking anything, punt, return. Some stupid kickoff fumble or kickoff. I don't know, something dumb. I don't even care. Just get the ball.
Just force one. Force one. We got too many good players on this defense to not force a turnover.
Yep.
So that's gonna do it for us. I guess the other thing, Brock, please break the record.
Yeah.
I don't know how many he needs. He needs like 200 now, but break the record. Because if he breaks the record, I'll feel good about us winning this game by a decent margin. So that's going to do it for us. This has been another episode of the Unnamed Podcast. I guess, do we want to give a score prediction?
I was just saying how close. Let's go like 35-14.
35-14? Okay. I know I jokingly said 20-13. I don't think it's going to be that close. I also, unless they score late, I don't even know that we'll give up 13 points.
Okay,
I'll go 38-10.
Okay.
I feel like this is the game. I don't think we're going to cover 31.5, but I do think this is the game that we kind of get stuff rolling. We get into a rhythm. Purdy gets back on track. Breece Hall blows up. Defense, I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to force a turnover. So 38-10. You had what, 35-14. So
I'll go 35-10. I don't think
35. All right, I like it. So that's gonna do it. This has been the Unnamed Podcast with myself, David Braga, and TMB. We've got Iowa State beating UNLV on Saturday. It's a late kick, which could that play anything? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Iowa State's got a bunch of party animals on that team, so they'll be ready for a 9:30 kick local time. I will not be streaming because I'll be working, but I'll be watching the game on my phone, listening to it on the radio. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Iowa State 1-1 on the year. A win over UNI, a loss to Iowa. Playing UNLV this Saturday. Hoping to get back on track. If you enjoyed what you just heard and kind of watched, be sure to like and subscribe down below. Tell us in the comments how dumb we are, because clearly we're pretty dumb. Not very good at making picks at the moment. So let us know. Does Iowa State cover? Does UNLV rattle us early? Do they keep it close? Let us know any thoughts you had on the Cyhawk game. That's going to do it, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out.